Good morning. Good morning. This is Senior Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India on this day, April 3rd, 2021, Saturday. Good morning again. Namaskar. Talk regarding quality as usual, conventionally, routinely, to an extent possible. I try to deliver this talk very much practical and common and standard one in relation to what should be considered quality term as a whole and as an individual application, title being civil field engineering, designs, construction, methods, contracts, quality organizations, quality structures, which is called AnnexSL according to ISO 9001-2015, new statement, organizations, communications, coordinations, quantity, quality, and combination of quantity and quality, and why we should be behind quality of whatever material in concrete form. Means every day we talk and whatever mind suggests, I try to project that. Quality, an unknown and unlimited world, so we have standardized ourselves, but it doesn't say that that's only final answer. Certification of fellow, standard fellow of Institution of Engineers, and then this is certification of statutory national title Chartered Engineer India, Bharat, and of course this title of practice of declaration, and here is quality, what it is. Many talks already done, but even then something comes into mind and that must be taken care of, and this is something to do with building plans. And here is ordinary project organizational management, what we should do for common good, because housing is very important for everybody all over the world, and in particular in ours, India, Bharat, where 130 crore population, 1300 million population, and out of which about 90 crores or say 100 crores may require housing in a professional way, though nobody understands profession in ours. So let us be very clear about, I close this file, let's be very clear about this, what we are talking of. Talking of quality here, quality plus, then I'll talk of designs also included with that. Quality and designs must move together, otherwise there can be no construction, no professional construction plus I can say. So quality has to depend and has to relate to designs, and designs must relate to construction plus, and construction plus must relate to certain written or understood statements which suggest, which indicate what should be done. That's point here. We have to be very much careful about this in status as engineers or even otherwise. And then we can say there are various knowledge areas, out of which time, which is dominating factor, also cost, which is dependent on time, and then risks, which must be resolved or which must be foreseen and resolved, and also reliability, which is a kind of sum of all these factors, you can say, though it is briefly stated in different way. Reliability, and we can say analysis, and analysis, you can say it's a kind of process, mental process, it's a kind of mental written process as well. which works perfectly, mathematically, arithmetically, technically, calculation wise, which tells everything about you, and then and then suggests or forces analysts to suggest what should be solution, and solution cannot be only one. There can be many problems in an analysis. One has to analyze all problems, whatever we find in some problems, and we get answer one by one, or a coordinated answer of all those analysis problems, which all go to a kind of assembly or combination of all those solutions in a network, and which can be called in synthesis. So all these factors are based on power of thinking, in concentration of thinking, work of thinking, and thinking is an activity that can be defined that way, as this is not an exclusive independent activity, but combination of all these activities. And contemplation, we can call, many solutions are reached, we can form network of those solutions, and each solution relates to another solution, and then relates to another solution, depending on function of that solution. And that combination form work, that combination formulation, that combination network is or can be called contemplation. So we can define contemplation like this. And all this contemplation, whatever we do, it can be equated to definition of real applications. And applications means not one, not two, but all. Applications means engineering, not only engineering, professional engineering, but all engineering in life. Professional engineering, national engineering, development engineering, social engineering, scientific engineering, and engineering based on engineering based on science, engineering based on systems, engineering based on common sense. And whatever you do, that is actually engineering. Whatever you think and you do, that is engineering. And thinking can be done only when you how nature exists, when you know answers from scientists, when you know, okay, these are systems, these systems work like this, they tell us, and then we think on that. So you can say a sequence, a thread is formed for engineering definition. Engineering is not simply what we understand, what we understand now. Let's say engineering is life. Everywhere it works, everywhere. From there's no place in world, even a newborn child, related to engineering, because that child is born somewhere, either in hospital or in room or wherever, under use of that product, building or hospital or whatever that is. That baby knows that has come to engineering, though they cannot express, but actually engineering exists. Use of engineering in form of, you can say, operation or land use or building use or whatever, that's engineering product. And there's no, you go out of your home, you'll find engineering product, streets and roads and footpaths. You drive your car, you'll find engineering product, car itself, engine itself, and all these signals, and all wherever you go, there's no process. Engineering actually, you can say, it's part and parcel of life of each and everybody, though we do not recognize when we use it. But if you analyze scientifically, professionally, you can say development wise, whatever, all over the world, engineering plays every part. There is no you can say action in life, or there's no reaction in life where engineering is not found. Maybe you are in hospital, you're a patient, but it's not simply medical aid that is helping you. It is engineering aid, because hospital itself is a product of engineering. Equipment, electronics equipment, product of engineering. And whatever work is done, whatever is done for you in your service, that's engineering. So medical is one part of that, but engineering surrounds that medical health, and that's what we say. Engineering is everywhere. You travel by train, you travel by bus, you travel by flight, you travel by whatever source, whatever medium, you will find engineering. Every television you watch, it's an engineering. And you can say whatever, you can say you enjoy engineering at all places in life. but we don't understand that. So we have to understand that, and that's everything is application. Whether application does it automatically or you apply on this, whatever it's, or engineers apply this, or some driver applies this, or some operator applies this, or whoever applies that, it is called engineering. And nature itself is a product of engineering. Nature is very much engineer. If you think of how nature works, there's a routine, there's a system that works, and that system is engineered one. There's no change in that. Of course, there's some change due to pollution system. You can say we have added pollution engineering. Actually, pollution is also a bad product of our engineering, because we did not care for that. We did not care, we did not understand what engineering it was and how much bad points coming or bad effects are coming out of engineering. And that, you can say, byproduct of our bad engineering is pollution. We abuse our cars, we abuse our vehicles, we abuse our flight, we abuse air conditioning, everything adds to bad engineering. So you can say, you may say that there's a useful engineering and there's abuseful engineering. Useful engineering that helps us to develop, and useless engineering is that we pollute. We pollute not only air, we pollute our minds as well. So that's all applications, good or bad, we can say. And then contemplation, of course, very important one. So we can, of course, I have defined every time. I'll read it for you again, so that those who have not seen it, who have not attended it, they may be comfortable in you can say, in what I say. They may know what I'm talking of, and they understand. Actually, I'm not talking. I'm just trying to reflect again. I'm just trying to guide you. But though you know it, how to move in this area, there's no need of a guide. But guide is required just to remind you that you are here. Engineering, I consider real engineering. It's not educational engineering, but that is only a guide. That's only direction to enter, to open door of that house where engineering exists. So degree may be, diploma may be, doctorate may be, or whatever it may be. That is just, you can say, there's just to open your eyes that you can see where engineering exists. But in life, you have to do engineering in world, engineering, you can say, actual world, let's call the field. Whatever engineering you see, this application, you do very first day when you join engineering field, you start applications under guidance and applications independently, that we do, and that's engineering. And engineering there's a start of engineering, but there is no end in world of engineering. Just like there is a start of, for you one is a start to come to earth, but one can come to earth. There's no end. You can perform to whatever level throughout your life. Of course, you are forced to leave this world due to some mandate of universe. Otherwise, you would continue. So whatever time is given to one, how many decades you exist on this earth, you have to perform, because you are meant for that purpose. There is some reason you are here. Everybody is here due to some reason. You may consider whole universe as product, and that out of that product there is one product, Earth, which is called. Engineering goes on in this, but it's already a product. You can say it's an operational factory. Earth is a world where we have to develop. We are here to develop this. We have to understand that way. So we are a part of universe. We are a part of Earth. Everybody is world citizen. Everybody is universe citizen. Though we may not know, but fact remains that you are here, you have no control on, we don't know what shall happen tomorrow. But there is a power which knows, and which our engineer actually, that is universe engineer, that's God you may call it, or whatever you may by the name. It's question of here, because people are working, universe is existing, system is working, that there's some control, there's some power, centralized control, which controls everybody, which leads everybody, which directs everybody, suggests everybody, forces to everybody. So that's why you have to understand this point. Fact remains that we have to understand. If you don't understand, we make mistakes. We make mistakes because of our misunderstanding, our abuse. We have limited mind, we have limited body, but our mind is unit. This can be expanded to whatever level. And we call expansion of our mind, mental power, and how to use that based on thinking, how many degree of thinking, exponents you use in thinking, and that thinking multiplies to volume. And that's what we can reach to whatever level of understanding. That's what quality of thinking, you can say. Systems quality, individual quality, element quality, some of all these can be defined as quality. There can be more on this, but these are minimum ones. Quality must be of system. System should be whatever system you define or you use or you are forced to use. There are two ways: either you define system yourself or you join some system. understand that system, and if you are able to define that or amend that, you can amend that, or if you don't like that, you make your own system and follow that. That's called self-discipline, self-punctuality. And if you join some other system, you have to follow them. It's one and same thing. Question is, you are contributing there as well as here. You are contributing in that system. If you join or you are making your own system, you are contributing. So both ways are there. Contribution comes from your efforts. And you are individual, so you must have first of all individual quality. You must define your own quality. You must understand whether you are right or you are not right. That's your duty. Individual quality is much more important, because if individual works, the system works. If one individual doesn't work, there's effect on system. And if suppose half of individuals do not work, then there's another way. So individual quality must be understood first, not only understood but applied. Every individual knows about itself, but question is, analysis is not done. We know our bad points, we know our merits and demerits ourselves. We know to what extent everybody is bad, everybody is not God. We know that, everybody knows that, but even then we don't understand, we avoid that, we ignore that. Then we can say quality of element. Element means every element, material, or whatever we use in our life, that's called quality. Means in form of material, in form of existence, in form of mundane effect. So we can say systems, and we can say individuals, and we also can say elements. We should bother about all this, because if we bother about the artist, we can understand gross quality. There can be more definitions on this. We can add whatever point we can. This all depends on designs. And designs means we are saying design related quality, because what system you design, that's a question mark. You have to understand your own design of your system. Though we are talking of quality, but design is also a part of quality, because design should be sensible, it should have sequences. It cannot be taken at random, means whatever you say, okay, pick up here, pick up something here, pick up something here. If that is where, that's not called systems. We must have some system in quality of designs. We have, every individual has a right to design, if that person is knowledgeable, if that person is qualified or has capacity to design. So that individuality, that caliber of individual, and that discipline of engineer, then forevision of engineer, whatever is there, or a person that applies to that individual. And then what material you are using, do you think so? What is your source or resource, or what you shall include permanently for something, or even in your imagination, that's also called elemental quality. So we can say designs are related to quality. Come what may, you can't say no. Even if you write a poem, you need paper, you need pen, you need something, and you can write a poem. So writing that poem and a contemplation behind that, you can say that's a plot or design, whatever you can say. But I'm not just going to that. I'm saying of something useful, practically useful. And so all the stages of designs. This design is not one stage. Every stage is design. Even if you have to do something for your own, you have to think something, you have to calculate something, and that calculated effort you have to do. And that calculation itself is called a part of design. All state designs are important. Construction is related to design, and construction is very big game. Construction is very big application. Without construction, nothing is possible. That might we should understand. Construction is no joke. Construction is no joke, and we have to understand that point. Construction is life. Whatever we construct, we should construct relatively. We should construct in a way it should be done. Construction is, you can say, only point that we are living with. It doesn't mean physical construction of building, construction of everything. Even a drawing, a kid makes some drawing like imagination, and that's a construction of this. Painting is construction, writing is construction, thinking is construction, drawing is construction. That way you can say, we say we are drawing contract, we say we are designing, that's contract design. A contract language must be designed, contract points must be designed. We collect points, what these points we are going to include in this contract, and that's also a piece of design. So what I say, I'm going to study this, I'm going to define some diagram, I'm going to define some picture, what to define, how to define, what should be outline of that, and what should be inline of that, and what content I should give to this, what content is better for this, what's not better for this, what people will think about this, how shall I look into, what's surrounding of this, environment of this, and depending on time. So each and activity of thinking, that is called the construction of that one. So construction also from very small piece of paper to whole building and structure, and you can say township and city and everything, all plants and facility all come under that purview. So construction is a combination of structures, concentration of a struct. STRUCT, STRUCT is struct, production of structure. Production of structure, whatever type, you can say construction it is. You understand structure, you understand writing of that, you understand physical working of that. And so you can say convergence of your thinking in form of structural work. It's called construction. So construction is nothing but production of structure itself, production of design. Whatever you did in your mind or papers, that should be done physically using natural resources, natural materials. That's called construction, and natural materials everything. So we are inclined. I'm inclined here to say, I'm talking of, that is construction of physical structure that is used for humankind. That's everyone, not only for humankind but also for animals, like camel form, like chicken form, like this form, like that form. All are structures from here. Every structure, steel structure, concrete. Whatever you say, priestess concrete, and all other structures before were used in past centuries, stone structures and other structures like that. Even birds, you make their hutments with small tiny pieces of you can say organic material. They do that. So we can say construction and all activities including construction are very much useful, very much reliable, capable. We have to understand that way. And we should devise something how to communicate what I want to construct. I have some idea. Let us say I have some idea. I want to construct that. That idea must be with me. I have that idea, but that idea is not enough. I have to express myself first, what I want to say, what I want to do. Then I have to give it a written form or spoken form, or if I cannot write a form, just to express to others what we have, or instruction, you can say verbal instruction. That instruction also should be sequenced one. That instruction should be pointed one. I cannot simply say today, I said you do this, then I say, oh, there's no sequence in that. First you have to do that, then this. Oh, no. Don't do this first, do this first. So that is nonsense. Because you cannot communicate sequences in right way. So only alternative is just write that in points form or in sentence form or in you can say bullet form, whatever you can say. You have to communicate to other person to whom you are instructing. They have to do that. That's also called a statement. What called a statement? And if you write something in a professional way and give to someone, that person can read that language and understand to follow that. That's also called a statement. Or otherwise you state somewhere and explain by demonstration. Yes, you have to do it by instruction, by demonstration. You show how you work. You stand there, go as a trainer, and the people are there to see how to do something new, and you apply that yourself completely. That's called instruction by demonstration. That's called the method, because you have seen that. So method is not simply, you can say simply writing. It can be expression by speech, it can be expression by demonstration, it can be expression by reading past. Whatever way, communication is good, communication performs. It means communication is you can say done, it's cleared, means it's a question of what's best you can communicate. So other person gets possibly 100%, a few chances of getting 50%, and I think that construction is performed, is delivered, you can say successful, it's successful. So I can say just like that method statement. I cover that all those stages in a title of statements, methods. I can say what's method, and these methods can be documented, no problem. There are hundreds and thousands of methods in life. We don't write, we don't care, but we know what to do, and we forget also that. When we forget, we cause a problem. You should not forget. You should remember. You should refresh others, because generations to generation the methods must transfer, or ideas must transfer. If not methods transfers, methods equivalent to procedure, and procedure equivalent to actually this is nothing but performance. How could you perform the best way, considering time, considering cost, considering quality, considering use, considering reliability, considering every part, considering risk cover and all that. Risk cover was of knowledge areas we say in management. All those knowledge areas must be considered, because we say modify something, amend something. When we have something, we can amend that. Only way is that amend that. If we cannot amend that, we lose something. So it's called method statement. We must be clear about that, what we want to say about method statements. So this is very important part, and actually this talk we are making is broadly I can say scope. Its scope is to broaden your ideas, because we are not very much practiced. We are not very much practiced for method statements. We as professionals and also others, we say, oh, we'll see when time comes. Means this ignorance, this act of ignorance is very much harmful, is detrimental to development of profession, detrimental to development of individuality of a person. So we should not say we'll take care when time comes. Time never comes. Time you have to use. Time is already there. You should not wait for time, because time stays with you. It doesn't think of you. It says, you have to use me, you have to take care of me. If you don't want to use, I'm not going to stay for you. I have many other clients, I'll take their care. They will take my care if you don't take care. If you don't respect me, I least bother. So I am keeping on moving. It's like water flow. If you don't use tape, you don't take a big cock and open it and get water. You will not get water, already exists in the pipeline. It's same thing. There is air. If you don't respirate, air is not going to harm itself. You are going to harm yourself. Means that's why I say you have to think for your records. You have to think for your future. Whereas you want statement, you want knowledge files in your area, you want to know a record, so the other can refer to. Others can refer to only when you put them, and if you put them, somebody following you shall put them and use them. So methods, availability must be very important. It's based on thinking, it's based on contemplation, based on what's in your mind. Your mind also clashes sometimes, but that clash can be killed by mind. So methods, writing, methods in engineering, particularly in construction, if you say not even if you don't care much in design, because design is based on software and so, but construction is not based on software. Construction is use of material. In designs, if you make mistake, you can revise that, because you are not spending any material there, you're spending on your mind. You are just thinking of material. In practice, in construction, you are going to use material, and use of material is not easy. Material you may have paid for that material, but it's not necessary that material is worth for that money, because it's natural. This material is born, this material is available after I don't know how many millenniums. If I'm using stone chips or aggregates or whatever, I'm using something which was not available or which has been done by nature. If I'm using petrol, for example, gasoline, for example, we are using as if we are paying money, and it's no, paying money is not adequate for that. Question is availability of that. It is available by whom? Nobody produced that. It was based on natural availability in reservoir. So we understand reservoir. We will extract that crude oil and convert it to that. But if crude oil is not available, how can we use that petrol or diesel? That's why we understand value of petrol, diesel, and not exchange money. That's exchange money. But availability, how it's nature created it. Fossil fuels, we call it, below sea, resource sea, our source sea, our domination sea, that's natural production. Nature produced sea, you cannot value it, in fact. That's why you have to understand. Body in which I am living, body in which you are living, you can't estimate cost of this, because this is a natural production. We cannot produce that. There is no procedure, no method we can produce a body. Same thing, we should understand this. Use itself, use of material itself is construction. It's not that I am constructing something because I invented that, or say I'm an exponent of that. No, only use of that. I have understood how to best use it for something, and that's called engineering. Use of knowledge. Knowledge is also not devised by scientists. You cannot say that. Knowledge is already available. It's available in universe. What is available, that we have to study, we have to observe. We are not adding anything to that. We are just trying to understand that. We are trying to apprehend what's available, and once we apprehend, we try to, you can systemize that. We try to observe that. Knowledge is available. That knowledge is converted to understanding and observance, and that observance leads to systems. We can say, okay, this is system nature is working with. Understanding of system itself is science, and application of that system, which is understood by science, is called application of work or engineering. So methods is just the means, you can say kind of communication, a kind of submission, a kind of, you can say, reference. It's nothing more than that, but it must be available for purpose of others to understand what should be done. It's written, it's spoken, it's verbatim, it's video, or whatever it should be, in whatever form, we have to give it to. Method is very and extremely important to be used. Procedure, what should be procedure? Procedures there can be many procedures for something to be done. We have to do something, there can be many procedures. It's not that we have to stand on this process only. You can write a parallel procedure, think that's better than the previous one, or you may write many procedures, or you ask someone else also to write something, and which is the best one, which uses time optimally, which uses cost optimally, which uses, you can say, quality, best quality, and which reduces risks, expected risks and foreseen, and which gives best, performance, best, you can say, ergonomics, best health is maintained. You have to understand that way. You have to use your mind. You have to think through your mind, not through what's written in books. I've not seen any procedure of method writing in any book so far. Though it should be. I have not seen any book use method statements, because those who produce those books, they do not have any experience in real world. They just imagine and write. And imagine is okay. Imagination is okay. If you imagine something, it's very good. But it's not method. It's not experience-based method. That's what I'm saying. Method statements means express details format for performance. What you are going to perform. And you say, I am performing this work. This way you are not performing by talk. You are not performing because you stand there. You are performing. In addition to your standing, your talk or speeches, you perform because you use material. You are supplied, you procure material and use that material. And material which has been produced in centuries, you are going to use in hours. So what is scale? Hours use or centuries produced material is whatever you got that has been many centuries old, and you are going to use in many hours or many days. So scale is very different. Use is very fast, you can say, of that material. The production of that material, nature is very long. So you can say, you want durability of that. It was already durable. It was durable because it was there for centuries. You are not giving any durability. You are using that property of material which you have understood. I can use this way. So try to value it. Don't devalue it. Nature has given you. You are not done anything on that. You are just using it. And the use cannot be converted to abuse. You cannot take that material for granted. You have no right to waste that material. You have no right to abuse that material. There are merits by use of that material. There are demerits by use of that material. We have to understand those points. Those are very brilliant points. We can say, this is what the method is not easy. It's much more important than design, because this is a method only which will deliver quality. This is method only that will save your time. This is material only that will, you can say, that will produce something for future. And to achieve working durability, then material durability itself. Because when material is taken out and used with other materials, ingredients we call that, various gradients we are using. Many combinations are used, and those combinations must work together. Though different types of materials, in inorganic materials we can say, inert materials like if it's stone chips or sand or dust, or you can cement or lime or water, whatever way we are using any additional material, whatever additional, like supplementing cementing materials in that. For example, we are using PFA replacement of cement, we are using GGF replacement of cement, or we are using microcycle replacement. So whatever we are doing, all combinations one must work more than these were available in nature, and that is what nature expects us to do, develop it. So this can be done only when we have thorough understanding, how best we can use, because when you do something, a new construct, we are not alone, nobody is alone. Okay, maybe once somebody may be engineer, but that engineer can work only when that team works, so the crews, they know what to do, everybody in crew understands what to do, well informed what to do. We cannot use our way, because once we use that material wrongly, this is gone. Either you have to destruct it, you have to divert, you can say dismantle it and do it again, which is much more expensive of time, expensive of quality, expensive of everything cost. So we have to understand this point, express detail format for performance, and we can say time is very important in life for everybody. It's time that life has limited time. We cannot allow this time go waste. So time is also very important factor. We cannot simply waste time because I am happy to waste it. That is not permissible. Time is also a very important factor which must be measured rightly. It cannot be taken for granted. I have enough time, don't worry. I relax now and we have plenty of time. We'll see why to worry now at this moment. But time says, no, I am not your servant. You are my user. You use me or don't use me, I least bother. I am unchangeable. I can't stop my journey. I have to do my work. You care about yourself. If you don't use me, I'm not going to complain, but you will not get benefit that I can give you. And so I am unchangeable in my personality. I am unchangeable in my value. I am unchangeable in whatever way I have to move. I'm not going to rest. I have to move because it's my character. It's my power. Nobody can stop me. No one. So, what we have to say? Time. What time says, should we not understand? We have to listen to time. We have to understand what it says. Life is also limited. Life is also some duration. Life is also time. If you use 1 second, if you use 1 hour, we must use it properly. Sleeping is required, but not all time. If you sleep 24 hours a day, you can't exist. You can't survive. Because you sleep 24 hours a day, let's say. I don't want to get up, I want to sleep, I want to take rest. Oh, it's beautiful. It's pleasing, I'm taking rest. How comfortable I am. Yes, you are taking rest. You are comfortable indeed. But you are excessively comfortable. You don't get up. You lose strength of your body is loosened, and your mind is loosened, and that adverse impact comes to you. So time says, your choice, not my choice. I'm not going to control you. Yes, I'll help you if you want. If you are punctual, if you are regular, if you have time for it, I'm there to use you. You are here to use me. I will use you. I'll be happy. Oh, you use me, my friend. I'm thankful to you use me. But if you say, no, I want to sleep, let it go to hell. And then I'm not going to hell. It's your destination. I am still same. You cannot change me. I cannot change my property. I am there. I am living to move and move and move. If you are in river, you want to control water, you can't stop it. It shall flow. Even if you are in sea, you have no control over sea. If you are in rain, you have no control over rain. If you are in sun rays, you have no control on sun. So where do you have control? You have control nowhere. You have no control on skies, you have no control on heat, you have no control on fire, you have no control on air, you have no control on rain, you have no control on mountains. How can you control time? All are bound by time. So we actually, to be speaking correctly, we have no control at all. And this is, you can say, a kind of studying in nature. We can't control production of tree. We can't control how this tree works. We cannot help them. We may understand them, their procedures, so we get them water, we irrigate them. Air is there, sun is there, soil is there. We can change some properties of soil, but we cannot change soil. That's what I say. Nature is there as our master, as our director, as our guide, as our command. We are not excluded, we have no power. We use sources, and then time is major resource, which is not seen. It's not like air, it's not like water, sea. Means it can't be seen, but it is available. It may be available in relative terms of 24 hours or whole life. So we have to understand value of time, and that's when time means cost. Cost doesn't mean in terms of currency, it's in terms of life, it's in terms of development, it's in terms of how best you can use these sources of nature. So cost is invariable. It may be variable as well, but it is invariable in terms of what I said. Maybe in terms of exchange of currency, exchange value transactions, it may vary, but in its use it cannot vary. It is where it is. Escalations could be there in terms of, you can say, in terms of amount, in terms of funding, but still cost is cost. It may cost your life. You say, oh, you have to pay, means what? Not money alone. You have to pay for that. Pay means what? You made mistake, you have to pay for that. You have to accept punishment. You have to accept jail. You done wrong. That's what I say. Cost, payment is not exclusively in terms of currency, but something else also. You are injured. Yes, you can have medical aid, medical treatment. Okay, you are recovered, but still there is defect in your body. That defect, because whatever natural was available in your body's constitution, that has been replaced by some artificial element. So your body is still not natural 100%. You may call it differently. So as I'm saying, cost is not for currency. Cost means every factor. I have to suffer, it's kind of suffering. I have to enjoy, it's kind of enjoying. At what cost you are enjoying? At what cost I am suffering? We generally say that. Oh, this is expense cost. I lost my brother. Oh, this is my cost for this problem. If I had done that, I would have seen that. That's what we generally say. So, cost definition is also not actually what we understand. So there's then risk. Everything is risk until it is understood. They say hazard, they say hazard, they say jeopardize. We conduct job hazard assessment. We do that. We see something, oh, I'm not able to solve this, but this is going to happen. I don't know how to do. Oh, I think this rain, if this would be rain, I won't be able to do this work in rain. So risk is rain. I can't do this work because in rain I can't do this. So what solution? Make some arrangements. The rain is out of this reach. Means even if rain is there, it exists. It shall drown. It shall go away, shut away. That's the only solution. Like sun exists, sun works. I can't stop it. So you have some shed to work. That's what risk cover is. We can't stay in bad weather, so we need some room to live in. It's like that. So we have flood here, we can't solve this, so we must have some draining out system. That's what the risks exist, and we have to study these risks and solve these problems. And risk can be understood only by those who are intelligent, who can view ahead of time. That's why we say we issue plans or schedules like look ahead, whole plan, look ahead 1 month, look ahead 3 months, look ahead 6 months. Means we say you just now imagine what we can do within these resources, and we have plenty of time for that. We want to make changes, we can make changes. We want to make recoveries, we can make recoveries. So that's where once risk is understood, it's very much true that then risk cannot be called risk. It should be said, it's a job, it's an activity. Then we can convert risk to activity, and risk is risk only until it's not until it's understood. Once you understand risk, reason of risk, when you know reason, means it's analysis of risk covering, and means I can understand this risk is like this because this happened, this being reason behind that. And once I understand that, I think there is no risk, it's solution. So must be foreseen, and then we say everything should be done in a reliable way. Reliability must be achieved. We cannot simply say I achieved something. Everything should be, if my service, I'm giving service to someone, my service should be remembered. Then if they require my services, they should require it. It's not simply they require it. If I work properly, sincerely, honestly, professionally, and within acceptance of fee, and I can say my liability should be my liability. That is liability when I say that I am liable for action. Not liable, I give good service or good product, then those users, those end product users who bought that from me, they should feel, oh no, this is good service, good job. Means there's no question of liability. If there is a liability is required, and that is respect earning, that is reputation earning. Means I am lying there with them, I'm able for that, so they want to hire me again, or they want to use my product again. And that's when say reliability, my product is liable for something. It's liable either in positive way or it's liable in negative way. If I am to be used again, it's reliability, means my work is positive for them. And the same can be false statements in my advertisements, or if I say no, I say I promise you this shall work like this, but that way it doesn't work. Under that specification which I define, it doesn't work. And that's why I say quality non-compliance, quality non-conformance, because I'm not reliable for you. You lied on me, you believed in me, but I have broken that trust by selling you bad product or bad service. And that's where I should stand isolated. Once I can befool someone, second time I cannot befool that one. So reliability or quality, you may say it's a kind of total quality that must be available, that if whatever I say it must be done positively. It must be seen. It must be proven. My product should prove. My service should prove what I said. If it doesn't prove, I lied. It's bad commerce. Malpractice, I say. Malpractice in mercantile, malpractice in business, malpractice in profession. This cannot be accepted. So reliability must be achieved in terms of quality in whatever you say. So reliability can be defined in this way. It is safety, service, everything should be safe. Whatever you, my product should give you safety. My product should be safe. It should not be harmful. It should help you. It should support you. Then it should serve you as well. And it should serve you positively. It should serve you in total terms. And for long duration for which you thought, I buy this product or this service, it will help me for this. It will help me for so many number of years. And that's where I say durability, that long period must this product work for, and I should benefit of that for there, maybe more on that. And I should say other knowledge areas are also affected. Other knowledge areas, factors must also be considered along with that durability. And all this is a part of, thinking, analysis, synthesis. So analysis, I'm just trying to say all problems must be understood well to find solution. Each understanding of problem and finding of each and every solution for that was hidden in that, but I could not identify without analysis. And now I find it that analysis is done and problem is solved. And as such, there are so many problems are solved together in combination of called synthesis. And then we can say all solutions network must reach solutions also work together. And there may be 5 or 10 solutions in one item. All should work together patiently, integrally, and harmoniously. And that's called compatibility. And all is based on thinking, unit of thinking, world of thinking. Only or in one item there could be 10 thinking, 5 thinking, level of thinking is high, and that thinking must give birth to contemplation. Application, each and every application, and hundreds of applications, thousands of applications, millions of applications, all must be affected to engineering product. So you can say, you can define engineering in many ways. It's not simply professional engineering, it can be genuine engineering. It can be engineering that is reliable, that is liable, that is dependable, that's indispensable. That is only answer, that's only way. That engineering product, engineering user, engineering operators and engineer, engineering operators, everybody involved in that. That point we have to understand very well. Otherwise, we face difficulties. We must be clear in that way. I think I defined to better way than before what is our you can say what's our issue about quality, and it's actually engineering at one end, and if you go to end of this, we'll find that quality is at another end. So actually, in terms of understanding, best understanding, I can say quality plus and engineering are related. If there is no quality, there exists no engineering, and if there is no engineering, there is no quality. Engineering means quality, because my objective is quality engineering is higher than engineering quality, because quality engineering, when I say whatever you do in life, that must abide by quality, that must adhere. This field only in engineering we have to work in quality, not cross. Engineering is quality. You buy any product, you buy whatever. I've experienced I really experienced. Say one pump is broken, water pump, centrifugal pump, 1 HP for example. You try in market, you'll get say 6,500 rupees, 1 HP pump, centrifugal pump, 6,500 rupees. When I hear, oh, it's very expensive, but because it is price, you have to pay that one. But same thing if I give to someone, a very good technician or electrician, or who wind it, who put bearings in this, casing is already available. And if that is repaired for rupees, just say 2000, 2500, practically it is done. It's a repair service or repair engineering, we can call it, which is very important in this world. So if I say I pay just 2000 to 2500 rupees for that service, and it becomes new again, and I don't have to pay 6500, and I think it works. It happened with me. I just repaired that. First I decided to buy a new one, but then so it's cost 6500. It's okay, it's my compulsion, I have to pay. But no, the service guy says I'll repair it. Why to pay more? Why to spend this? And that buy repairs. Maybe the guy is good, I can't say that bad or good, but if this is successful, I pay just 2000, 2500 for reservice of that. This means that party which is selling for 6500 is a robber. If this person charges 2000 rupees or 2500 rupees and repairs it successfully, this means its cost is 2500. Okay, because casing was there, so I am adding 500. So I said 3000. But the person, manufacturer is selling at cost of 6500. This means double profit. If 2500, so more than how much profit is taking? In place of 2500, that was charging 4000 more. So double. This is what industry is. And they say my product, quality product, and that's not quality product because that won't work forever. It will break. So they are actually robbing customers. They rob customers in name of trade, in name of trademark. Oh, I am this mark, I am very expensive. What you are expensive? Technology is same, steel is same, parts are same, mechanism same. You are not paying double to your people. So where is it? You are making profit. You are making maybe that agent which sells the shopkeeper sells that gets 5 to 10%, 5 to 10%, guys, and this manufacturer supply chain that may get 5%, and then of course this industrial gets 120% or 150%. This means product is only 100 and you are charging 250 or 300. This is, you can say, mercantile. This is robbery. So how can you say quality is there? I paid for quality, but I am not getting it. But I have no other way. I have no other source. I have to buy from you because I cannot manufacture myself. But because of that, my weakness, you are going to rob me. Really, it is surprising. I can't say this is quality. This is robbing engineering. Rob engineering. And it happens with everything. You buy television, you buy fridge, you buy whatever. You are paying double or more than double. And they call it competition. They always say, oh, this is on sales. You go to market to find products. Oh, this is sales discount is 50%. Sales discount is this percent. It's a bloody not sale. It is real price, more than real price. Still you are getting profit. If you are saying 50% discount, already you charge 200% on real cost. So where is 50% discount? Still you are getting 100% profit. That point you have to understand. In name of trademark, in name of this, they loot us. They have been looting us, and they are getting. Oh, I am richest man of world. You are richest robber. You are richest robber of world. You are top robber of world. Is it right? Means because something is out of my bound, something I cannot do myself. I cannot produce myself. I am dependent on you. You are abusing me. Everybody is abusing us. Really? Everybody abuses us. And we are being abused. So where is quality then? The quality is only for namesake. Oh, my product is really standard one. I give you 3 years warranty or 2 years warranty. Why 3 years warranty? Why not whole life warranty until this product is available? That's my point. Quality is abused in name of trademark. Ultimately, those are technicians, they work. Ultimately, this is material that is procured in forms of ore, extracted, explored, and processed. So where do you stand? Everybody wants profit. There's a chain, supply chain, production chain, and all get money, and ultimately public is befooled. That's why I'm saying, don't take it advice. This talk is quality talk, this talk is engineering talk, but also social engineering talk. All industrials are robbers, all industrials are looters, all business people are looters. And this is not only in our country, this happens all over the world. All are robbers. You try it yourself. But those who give me food, how much they are charging? What do they charge? That is a question mark. Item or material that quenches my hunger. I'm not starved. I'm paying product when I buy. But that person who did on this for whole year, that person just shares 10% of that, and 90% is robbed by others. Means for my survival, for my existence, that person is not paid, but for these temporary items which are used only for a couple of years, I am charged by robbing. They rob me, and it may be everywhere, every item. I may use 50 appliances for my survival, and I have to pay for 50 appliances. I am using electrical service. They are supplying me electricity. If you see cost of unit is very high. If I say production cost is very low. All system cost, infrastructure cost is very low, but still they are charging all what they charge. That's what I say. There's no quality service. Accessible charge exists, and we have to pay because we are dependent on them. Everything we cannot do ourselves. That's what I say. We have to analyze everything as engineer, as non-engineer. Of course, I can afford. Question is not whether you can afford or you cannot afford. Question arises, what is reality? What is reality? Who they are to loot me? Why are you not happy in profit of 10 to 20%? What's wrong with that? When I used to analyze my rates in construction engineering or civil engineering, we used to analyze this is cost of material, this is cost of working, this is cost of workers, this is cost of plants, and we say if you sum up all these, this is total cost, and we add, let us say, contractor's profit or some other profit, 10%, in 6% real profit and 4% overheads and something. So we just count that percent of profit. And others come here. You are house builder, you are a promoter, you are charging excessively costs because in name of land, oh, there is shortage of land. There is no shortage of land. There is a robbery of land. There is a robbery of money. You are looting public. Where is quality then? Okay, even after looting public, you are not delivering quality because people are interested. There is a hunger to get house because of population. People don't have houses. They want house at every cost. If those who can afford, okay, I can book and I pay you, you can pay them, but you have no right to ask for quality. They write anything you accept. That's what I say. You are going to spend crores and millions and lakhs on your house. You don't demand any quality. You don't know what sort of house that person gives. Oh, good finishes you ask for, good decoration you ask for, but you don't ask for real life of that. And real life is dependent on structure. Real life dependent on its framing, which we do not talk of, we do not know. They don't want to do this. They don't want to know. Even engineers whom they employ, they don't talk to customers. They are meant only for work, technical work, quantification, design, construction, execution, supervision, all that. Customer is kept off means real user is kept off. The real stakeholder in that charter of production, charter of housing, that person is kept off. So where is involvement of quality? There is no quality at all. They cheat in structure, they cheat in everything, they cheat in prices, and we happily touch their feet because I need that house. I'm so impatient, I'm so desperate to get house. Okay, I'll give you money, you pay me, you kick me, you do what you want me, you raise your prices later on, I have to pay more EMI. That is what their bad designs in looting public. What they do design? They design how to befool people of this country, people of world. They do it. So quality loot, you can say quality robbery. In business, in mercantile, in production, in construction, everywhere. And we say cost of living is very high. Cost of living is not high, it is robbery of living is high. Everybody is robbing other. because I am helpless, I cannot do that, so I can't rob you. And if I have a chance, I shall also rob you probably. That's what my character becomes, because you robbed me. So robbery is there, stealing is there, but don't forget, nature is there. Nature is there. We shall teach you one day one lesson, and lesson that impact you won't be able to tolerate, you won't be able to digest. And that's only called as you sow, you will reap. As you sow, you shall reap. Right or wrong? One day you have to go, you have to leave this world. That time, no robbery shall go with you. Your bad thoughts will go with you. Your character will go with you. Your soul shall go. Your dirty soil, spoiled soil, robbery soil, robbed soil, killer soil shall go with you, this soul. So what shall you take with you? Nothing. So that is departing engineering. While you depart in your part of engineering, you shall be sufferer. Think of that. That's the only reason quality should be spread everywhere. It should be complete volume everywhere in other volumes. Quality must be part of your volume. It's not simple on paper. Whatever you do quality wise. Think of your end first, then start with your new. If you don't think of your end, when somebody dies, we go and say, oh my God, this guy is God, let God rest him in peace. What peace? He can't have peace. One can't have peace. Because you never allowed others to have peace. You were just interested in looting them. How can you be in peace? You can never be in peace. That is called a result of your bad engineering. That's why it's very clear. I'm not going to into that, but however, I'm just giving you a reference. Means quality is honesty actually. If you do what you are paid within tolerance of profit, that quality, you have a duty to deliver, whoever you are, wherever you are. And if you don't do that, you only believe in robbing people. You may be in whatever field, you may be in politics, you may be in society, you may be in engineering, you may be in medical, you may be in other profession. Wherever do you work, you have to think of quality work. You have to think what you promised. What did you say, think, what did you demand, or what did you promise, or what did you assure others? You have to deliver that. And if you don't deliver it, you make excuses. Maybe people won't say anything to you, but your soul shall kill you, your soul shall hit you. You can't sleep with sound mind. You can't sleep calmly. You will feel horrific dreams. That should not happen. So quality should be dominating factor in life, with all supporting items, supporting nomenclature here. That must be well understood. And if you can understand that, I think every day ideas come to my mind about this. It's not because it's my profession, it's because it's required. And then we can say projects, organization, management. As I said always, this is all dependent on what you think, what you do. And that's very important part. Then we were somewhere, you can say, up to here. Last time we studied about risks and impacts due to change in that. We studied risk impacts due to change in scope, risk impacts due to change in the quality standards, and also risk impacts due to change in schedule time, and risk impacts due to changes in cost, and risk impacts due to partly unknown scope. So now we say risk response plan, risk, though we call management plan, but this is word which is very obsolete these days. Means it has been there. I say, oh, we are managing. What does management mean? Management also means mismanagement. Management also means befooling others. Management also means do it whatever way. Hit and trial and error, hook or crook. I think everything is covered in management. This is dirty word, I can say. Organization is based on this. So whatever we say, you can do that. This is, oh, you manage it. It has different meaning. When I say, okay, we will manage. Manage what? If something can't be done, you will manage. How can you manage something? If there is no quality input, you say, I will manage. You will manage to sell. This means you are going to deceive others. Right? You are going to deceive your customer and user. So that's management to call it. That's robbery. That's cheating. That's breach of trust. You want to work on that line of breach of trust or teaching. Treasury. Because that guy is paying you. Even you give some discount, it doesn't compensate because you are giving 5% discount, 10% discount, 20% discount. But still you are making profit. That person is not using that money to its full advantage. Rather you are abusing that advantage. So that's what we say. Management is a bad word. First of all, there's a man domination in that. There's no woman management. Itself it's dominating word, and that everything which is dominated by irrelevant item, by foundless items, that harms real purpose. You have to understand that point. So we say risk response plan. Risk response plan is an only document that would assist in mitigating adverse or undesired effects imposed on project to come out of risk impacts. Think I am feeling thirsty. I say, let me take some water better before I have to go after that. So, no problem. Let me take some water, heat. Well, risk response is very important in life, and we have to stand up on. Risk response plan is only document that will assist in mitigating adverse or undesired effects imposed on project to come out of risk impacts. Such plans should be based on thorough understanding of project activities and sources required for completing them. Project activities, you can say, all project documents should be clearly understood to enlist possible risks and risk impacts. From scope to closeout stage, all possible risks should be analyzed and clearly documented, along with defining possible adjacent effective solutions. Risk, really. Life is a risk. Everything is risk. Coming to this earth is also risk. Risk response, I am saying risk response. You have to respond to risk. Again, I read that. It may be an interesting one to read again and again. You have to respond to risk. So you have to make some plan for that. Means risk has to be covered, risk has to be used, you can say. If there's a risk, it's risk only until you think it's risk. Or when you find solution, it doesn't say it is risk. So risk knows what is solution, but we don't know. Risk response plan is only document that would assist in mitigating adverse or undesired effects imposed on project to come out of risk impacts. This means risk means adverse effects, adverse impacts, adverse circumstances, undesired effects. Adverse means we don't say, oh, this is adverse, means this condition is adverse to my requirement, means I don't like this, I don't desire this condition to come to me, but I don't want to stop that. I am unable to stop that. If I am able to stop that, to protect myself from that impact of rain, say, I use umbrella, means I get solution, temporary solution until rain exists, I use that umbrella. So you can say risk response is umbrella here. Even in heat, solar heat, I can use this umbrella and I can protect myself. So that umbrella is a solution here. There's a response to that risk of waterfall or of sunfall. So we can say undesired effects imposed on project or myself to come out of that adverse impact of all. So risk response plan is the only document that would assist in mitigating adverse or undesired effects imposed on project to come out of risk impacts. Such plan should be based on thorough understanding of project activities. Means we can respond only when we understand details of activities. Otherwise, we can't respond properly, and resources required for completing them, how to complete those. We must have those resources, or we must do these project activities completely. All project documents should be clearly understood to enlist people, enlist possible risks and risk impacts from scope to closeout stage. All possible risks should be analyzed and clearly documented, and documented only when can be understood, along with defining possible easiest and effective solutions. It says that we have to keep gap between start and end. So it's saying from scope to closeout stage means the scope of starting scope. You can say from start of scope to closeout stage, whole project it covers, and says we have to understand how many adverse impacts are going to come, how many undesired stages have to come from keeping apprised contents of all documents and scope of project, objective of project, what we are going to do. If you understand that thoroughly, and that's actually project engineering. Start of project engineering, you can say, I understand this project, this means I've gone through complete documents of that project, and that's the job of project organizer, that's the job of project leader. It may be construction project or it may be design project, both are leaders. That's the leader of design and that's the leader of construction. Leader of design has to understand what sort of mechanism one has to adopt in optimizing that structure, in converting thoughts of that structure into real working. That's what one has to think of, one has to do it. That point is very important. You have to think of, you have to understand it. It's not simply that it's my choice or not my choice. It's choice of none. But it's a real choice that we have to adopt. You have to think of that. That real choice is really wonderful. It must be tenable. It must be, acceptable. And this is who has to accept. This is designer has to accept. Leader has to accept that. Leader. This leader, it will be design leader or construction leader, or who we call project designer or project engineer or project implementer. That person has to understand thoroughly whole design, what's in mind. It's not simply we start designing in software. Software comes later. Now we are thinking of aspect of that, a view of that, coverage of that. What's past one? We have to decide first using mind, not software. We have to reach a level where we can say, yes, this is what I have to do. It covers minimum risks, or this is best solution as part of, as you know, it is best designed solution, I can say, in which you have to use material, you have to use mechanism, formation mechanism, three-dimensional analysis, dynamic analysis, static analysis, or whatever you have to do, keeping abreast environment conditions, local conditions, international standards, foundation engineering, soil engineering, and future changes expected and use. All these points a designer has to contemplate. It's not simply starting calculations. Calculation come at end. Start is mind. You have to use that. Once I decide something, okay, I can go this way, then I can start real design. And all this I'm talking is feed and pre-feed, you can say. A kind of pre-feed in your mind. Then you design goes to feed. You can say formulate some statements yourself, I mean what I have to do and what my team has to do, and then what software I have to use, how I have to model it, whatever procedure of designing is, and then we move forward. So it's a kind of total process. Similarly, we say you are keeping while designing risk factors in your mind, accidental loads, transient load, permanent loads, actions, whatever, and you seismic actions, wind actions, other actions, or you can say fire impact, environment impact, corrosion impact, and you keep those points in your mind, as well as these are risks, and you find solutions. You have solutions for that. So design can be done that way. I'm not going to talk of design much, but I'm relating it to construction, because construction guy knows what details would be there in design, and that guy is not blank in that knows. Of course that person is possible an engineer, and that person knows a lot of designs in detailing, but construction is different world. If design is constructible, when you say constructable, it's worth construction, means it is easy to construct, it is simple to construct, and that construction technique designer also should know, and that design technique, you can say design detailing, that constructor should also know. If both know reciprocally, means they can do better. So what risks can be involved in this construction, from view of safety, from view of planning, from view of procurement of materials, from view of doing work, from view of arranging human resources, from view of arranging equipment, and of course from view of arranging finances. All these points that can hamper your project, that can come in way, must be considered. While we can say that's called risk response plan. Again, I can read that. It's a very important point here. Risk response plan is an only document that will assist in mitigating adverse or undesired effects imposed on project to come out of risk impacts. Such plan should be based on thorough understanding of project activities and resources required for completing them or these project activities. All project documents should be clearly understood to analyze possible risk and risk impacts. From scope to closeout stage, all possible risks should be analyzed and clearly documented, along with defining possible easiest and effective solution. Go to other para. That's of course of all such risks, imminent higher potential risk, of all such risk, imminent, you can say higher potential risk, must be given full attention, that would possibly bring project to standstill many times during project life cycle, project construction life cycle, you may say. Such document should detail qualitative and quantitative analysis of all considerations collected from various sources, both involved in project and also from various external independent experts or sources. from relevant fields, interviews, questions, formats, brainstorming, conferences, discussions, iterations on responses, etc., would assist in understanding possible risks, requiring responses from risk planning and management or organization. Risks mitigation activities must certainly require making changes, updates on various documents such as schedule or schedule, cost plan, sources, resources, mobilization, etc., and incorporating with such documents all updates. Try to get this into your mind. This is not just a statement but contemporary requirement. Whatever risks you cover, you are thinking of. Whatever risks. Potential risks, immediate high potential risks, you can say, must be allowed full attention. No ignorance is acceptable. Otherwise, if you don't do that, possibility lies that it would bring project to standstill, not one time, many times during your life cycle of construction. Whatever you do, you must have complete qualitative detail, qualitative and quantitative analysis of whatever considerations and all considerations collected from various sources, various agencies who are involved in the project. And of course, supplementary information through external independent experts, sources from relevant fields, by conducting interviews, by conducting certain inquiry formats, including many questions, and of course through exercise of brainstorming, and of course convocations of conferences, conduct of discussions, and use iterations on responses, etc., which would assist in understanding possible risks, requiring responses from such risk planning and management, risk planning and organizational bodies. Risks mitigation activities may certainly require making changes because you have to mitigate risks, you have to reduce these risks to no risk possible, and update on various documents such as schedule or timeline, cost plan, resources mobilization, etc., and incorporating with such documents all updates. Means there is a long process, but don't worry about this. It's not long that you have to spend years on this. These are systemized procedures you can do in very short period. Once you are experienced, it doesn't take much. You can't do it in days. Understanding risk is very easy if you are experienced engineer or a professional or a business leader, or you are a leader wherever you work. These are repetitive risks and you know what project it is. Even without going into complete details, you can know how commercial risk is there, what is industrial risk, or what is your marketing risk and financial risks. You know them very well, and because you deal with all such agencies, you can get feedback in days. It won't take months. Maybe in 1 week you can completely conduct this study, and you can conduct this study even at bid time or even at time when you are issuing bid as client. It's no big deal. You must have studied that. So it's only in this paragraph such long statements, but interview means what is usual. You interview your people, you make your own question format, you think on this again and again, talk with people again and again. When the brainstorming means brain should be open, they should give some wind to this problem so that this problem is resolved. conduct online conferences and discussions and interact. It's not big deal. Only writing says it's big, but it's very small. Once you know this, what project is, what after analysis of project you come to know scope of that project and your responsibility and responsibility of others in coordination or in coexistence or in interface it, you can say. We can understand how to know risk, how to discover risk, how to find out what risk exists and how to find solution to mitigate that or to reduce it to no risk stage. That's what it was. Then we say point is that how to deal with situations where critical activities were affected due to imposed risks of whatever kind must be detailed. Critical activities are often adversely affected for maintaining quality standard, while non-critical activities do have sufficient time required due to allowed floats. Critical activities do not have any float on both ends of early start and at early finish dates. Required intensive performance attention during monitoring must be given to all critical activities. This is a simple statement. It says how to deal with situations where critical activities were affected due to imposed risks of whatever kind must be detailed. Again I say analysis. You must have complete details can be obtained only through analysis to thoroughly understanding what risk is, what's factors behind risk, what are reasons behind that, and why risk is there. So we can convert this risk to ordinary work. And critical activities are often adversely affected. Critical activities, because if critical activity is affected, it impacts on sequential activities, pre-activities and post-activities. It affects pre-activities means pre-activities of this critical activity and post-activity of this critical activity. So critical activities are often adversely affected for maintaining quality standard, while non-critical activities do have sufficiency of required time due to allowed floats, and that can be used to keep quality on. So critical activities do not have any float on both ends of start and finish, and intensive performance attention during monitoring must be given to all critical activities. This you have to define which critical activities depends on project to project, and particularly in structural engineering, in building engineering, where structures are involved and there are so many sequences, means one depends on others, multi-story, high-rise, and other sequences where one part depends on other parts, means this can apply and this can be mitigated very easily. There's no problem on that. And we can say all such risks managing studies should be recorded in details along with mitigation of risks. Complete solutions adopted to contain such risks should be documented in sequence of corrective factors applications. Means once you should have listed listed risks, and then the analysis of such risks. Second part can be, and third part can be what analysis are responsible. What you will find after conducting analysis that these problems which are erupted in, what solutions, and of course certainly solutions should be there. So in that case, when you find solution, you can say I have to apply corrective factors applications, and again it goes to engineering. And what steps could avoid such risks? At touch charter or scope arrangement stage, when you work on start then defining this project in form of filing, and that's called charter, those contents. What steps could avoid such risks at charter or scope stage, scope entering stage or scope documenting stage? Had a proper studies done or analysis been conducted, it would have been differently. What should be done to avoid such further imposition of risk in future on this project, the kind of lesson learned, and also other ongoing newer projects. These details should be documented as lessons as a part of is a part of quality procedures and would be constituted as closing output plan dossiers. So just to read, take some time to read this document, and because this is very important one, though it's now squeezed, but better you read it. Give me 10 minutes, I'll be back after. As usual, I go and I'll be back with this, and it's already about 1.5 hours. If situations arise, it helps me to go up and come back after conducting this, and it's not a big deal. You can say I'll be back in 10 minutes time. Meanwhile, excuse me for that, but I have to walk a little, and that's very important for me. My health requires that. Alright, I think you have gone through that page. You must have gone through that page. Risk page, response page, you must have gone through that. And that is where I was interested in. Let you go through that. I think you have gone through that. And I now go to last. That is, let's say, what about this? Let's say all such risks, times there. Okay, all such risk mitigation, or you can say risk, all such risk organizational studies should be recorded in details along with mitigation or risk plan, risk works. Complete, you can say, complete solutions adopted to contain risk should be documented in sequence of corrective factors, applications, and what steps could avoid such risks at charter or scope agreement stage. Had a proper studies or analysis been conducted, what would have happened? What should be done to avoid such further imposition or risks in future on this project and also on other ongoing or newer projects? These details should be documented as lessons learned as a part of quality procedures and would be constituted as closing out part of dossiers. What it says that actually whatever we do for risk mitigation studies, risk mitigations activities, this shall certainly be documented, and if you think not to document, then you make certain mistakes, because maybe it's your idea, maybe it's your proposition, or it's your solution patent. You may consider this, but it's not patent. Your knowledge must go to other people, to who are your followers, who would be your followers, maybe your juniors, subordinates, all those who must have right to be trained by yourself. You are being leader, you have a duty to train them, and that training can go through documentation or through explanation. As far as explanation is concerned, you can explain only few. As far as document is concerned, you have right, you have duty and responsibility to publish that at least to those who work for you. Anyone is publicly produced, if you are so brave, I think it will help the world. But some people consider, oh, this is my secrecy, this is my company blues, I don't want to give to someone else because it may affect my business. Some people have that narrow thinking. So it doesn't work that way. But okay, at least you have a duty and accountability and responsibility to disseminate whatever you have done in form of creating lessons. These lessons should be taught to your those personal around you, and depending on you, you do your work, you will get results. That's point here that we must care for. Now, human resources affecting cost, time, manpower, quality standard. What that means? Human resources. Human resource is very an exclusive resource, exclusive natural resources, can say, that can affect production, that can affect efficiency, that can affects its own health, and of course that fact also gives something to human resources for survival, life in form of remunerations. But that's another part, is affecting cost, time, manpower, quality standards. Human is called resource, but I say it's not resource, it is source, because nobody created it, nobody explored it, it's on its own by natural process done. So like we experience or like we explore ores, we explore ores and then explore minerals from those ores. You can consider human resources being ores of some minerals and that mineral is use of human resources, their expertise, their knowledge, their potential, respective characters, respective useful elements that humans can give, and activities of human resources certainly affect cost, time, and strength, of course, quality standards. Now, what happens? One is cost element, other one is required plans, and move in and move out, and of course motivation, mobility. Then these are four main points you can say about these human resources. Can be more, let us see. At that time in 2011 what I thought. It says cost element scope, cost element. Entire project to an extent of 30 to 50% possible cost of project is consumed by human resources, human factors you can say. Depend on type of project. That's true or not true? You think yourself. Because generally in tendering bid we take in analysis of rates about 15 to 25% cost of human element, but we should also take that cost which is used while making equipments, manufacturing equipments, or exploring this material. When you buy, for example, you buy some material in natural form from quarries, like aggregates, like dust, like sand, like cement, of this. These come from nature, and we don't consider that human cost because we pay money for material delivery. But we have to keep in mind that that material delivery is not free of human resources. Human element is involved there in mining, in crushing, or in manufacturing, or production, and that too we have to count. So you can say on a annual basis 30 to 40 or to 50 depending on type of project, type of activity, that much human element is covered in our budget, in our scope. Whatever is spent on these projects, on these activities, element is there. Varying element, of course, not fixed percentage. These costs involve human elements, human factors from all stakeholders, from whatever party so involved, maybe manufacturer, of course distant party, remote party, maybe crusher owner, maybe supplier, vendor, whoever they are involved. Those parties may be external or internal, or consumer or client. Team members may be virtual or integrated on project, centrally controlled. This factor requires in-depth consideration to control expenditure on project costs. So briefly, you can say cost element scope is entire project, you can say to an extent of 30 to 50% of possible cost of project is consumed by humans. That depends on type of projects that's being done. These costs involve all human resources, whatever, human elements, inclusions, involvement from all stakeholders, from whatever sector, whatever role one has to play an involvement. External, internal, a consumer, client, all team members may be virtually or they may be integrated on projects centrally, which factor requires in-depth consideration to control expenditure on project cost. It's not so simple and it's also not simple in contracting terms, in construction terms, that we take those analytical information, as I said, real expenses on production of machines or productions of equipment is too low, but what we are charged is too high, and that's a kind of declaration. No, we are getting only this much profit, but fact is different. Well, that's different direction of discussion. We are concerned with control of budgets, control of cost, provided quality is intact. And here dominating factors quality, and of course quality links to cost, it links to scope, it links to time, it links to risks, it links to human, it links to material procurement, it links to whatever else you can say. What we say, required plans. Required plans. Now, efficient plan is required for how to utilize optimally humans on activities, because it's too easy to waste this resource or this factor on whatever project. We can waste it. Cost on these factors wastage cannot be recovered by whatever recoverable means. There is no way. If you loosen human factor contribution, time, you loosen. There is no way you can recover that. Gone is gone. Expertise and potential as an average would affect strength requirements on whatever project. Dedicated commitment shall also affect required team strength. Extra use of work hours shall affect strength as well. Extra use of working hours affects expenses on overheads such as establishments, camping, transport and other facilities. But plan should be that we have to we have to use maximum, we have to extract maximum efficiency from human element. Because if human element is not properly used, optimally used, your machines shall not perform optimally. Your devices shall not perform optimally. It is role of human that works everywhere, indirectly or directly. If excavator operator does not work, is work delayed, excavation quantity is reduced. If there is absence of people, work cannot be done efficiently. Every machine is efficient only if its operator is efficient. Otherwise, everything is not automatic, cannot be done. In construction engineering, automation is not available properly. Even in manufacturing, there are limitations. But human cannot be eliminated. Human is invariably indispensable. You cannot say, we'll do it. It is planning, it's required. We have to. We have to use human element to maximum possible extent. Of course, not pushing that human to tired status or fatigued or sickness status. Health, safety, environment are also very significant factor, and we have to provide this facility to every worker. Every worker in all cadres. Rest is a must, response is a must, health is a must, safety is a must, environment, good environment is a must. Or you can say ergonomics, science application is a must. Everything is a must. We have to consider this point, and if we don't consider this point, we make mistakes. We make such mistakes we cannot recover from them. That's the point we have to consider time and again. Human is not procurable. Human cannot be purchased. Human cannot be destroyed. Human cannot be abused. Human cannot be cannot be written off. Human cannot be abused. We have to understand that. If we abuse human, we abuse ourselves, because everybody is human on construction project and in manufacturing, or wherever in agriculture, or wherever in your field you work. Human is valuable, and those who do not value human, I can say they themselves are not human. That point must be clearly understood by everybody. That human factor cannot be ignored, and if you ignore, you ignore yourself. That's what I can say. That point is very important one. And again I say, human involvement is every plus point. Safe involvement, healthy involvement, good environment involvement, application of ergonomics involvement, and after all, soul involvement. You can say lust involvement, you can say happiness involvement, pleasure involvement, rest involvement, work involvement, keeping hazards off involvement. Life is above every work. If your life is not used properly, if it's subject to accident, if it's subject to risks, it's subject to hazards, this means something wrong somewhere exists in your plan, in your work. You are not interested in your worker safe life. You are not interested in worker, considering your worker as an asset for you or for your organization. And if you value that, I think you will be best company, organization, and you have best future for that, because human can work in variety of ways, in you can say progressive way, very progressive way, efficient way, outstandingly efficient way, and it may add an element up to 25 to 50% more than you think of, you thought of. Mobilization or move in and move out or demobilization, there are two processes, two terms we can say. When somebody moves in, it's called mobilization, and when somebody is moved out, it's called demobilization. Mobilization stays, usable duration, demobilization time, schedule for human element, are concrete requirements to organize some project successfully. Come what may, it is foreseeable that whoever personnel have to move out of project one day after no requirements left for that human or that personnel. There's no role at all. Payment cannot be made without role. So one has to move out, and moved out personnel shall be either transferred to other projects or to their parent functional organizational areas. Those who are not on record, committed and efficient, means they are not committed people, they are not efficient people. They may have to face, of course, certainly they shall have to face permanent demobilization, while those who are dedicated, who are committed, who are determined, and who are integrated with organization, they are hardworking, smart working personnel, may be motivated by promotions. Update trainings may be allowed for certain good ones. Update training is very important due to the fact that technologies keep on changing all time, and one has to adapt to that one. And if you are in work, if you are occupied, possibly it's that you get more technology, you get more exposed to those technology, you learn more and more, because you're already in trade, you're already in occupation, then your CV doesn't matter much, because people know what's level of performance. CV doesn't pay there, but your performance levels, human performance levels, human picking power, intellectual power. Maybe you could not do that in your education time, but here on job you can be more useful, because you have limits to learn, and you want also to learn more and more. You have no limit that I have to only do this job, and at end of day I have to go and sleep, and that's my ambition, that's my objective. That doesn't work there. So motivation is very important in that way, and if you are committed, if you are dedicated, then there's no step which you cannot cross for other step, and there's no flooring can't reach. Every floor exists for you, every destination, every milestone exists for you. Maybe you did not decide in your life, but by continuous improvement of your skills, you can reach to higher levels always. So moving in and moving out are of course certainly required. These are concrete requirements. We cannot change it as far as project is concerned, because project has to close one day, and operational people are maintenance people, generally called manufacturing people or maintenance people or service sector, where there is no move out, or if there is move out due to means bad performance or something, and maintenance people enjoy life forever, means they are job secured, while those people who are in construction, they don't have any job security. That's only difference. But move out is progressive always. If you find yourself in suitable positions, you find yourself in you can say positive state, that yes, I am capable to do this, and I'm doing this, and I'm getting promotions, and you're getting more and more exposed to field, and that you may call at some stage, you may say, I am mature one. I have reached this stage because of experience which is matured, learning by experience, by virtue of my maturity, by virtue of my experience, by virtue of my skills. I've got this level. One may think that way. So that doesn't say anything against organization. It's actually evolution of organization. You can that way. Education cannot evolve you. Education can only give you some input how to work. Then we can say motivation, mobility, feeling or can generate whatever feeling regarding mobility can generate a degree of inefficient performance. You think, oh, I know job after this project, so I have no place, I'm not placed yet. So it can give inefficient performance on person concerned. That should be monitored. That should be monitored by project team leader or project organizer or leader. Next mobilization project should be entrusted to concerned but efficient person, and you must know who are those people in advance while thinking for transit, that these people I may require, this key person I may require, these known people who I know their efficiency. Leader may think I need them for future also. So that can be done, means if they know that we have job for coming time, those will do whatever efficiency is required. And if those people are of different nature, they don't want to work but say our job is not safe, so I have to prolong this job. That's very dangerous stage. There can be such consideration by key personnel. Okay, I don't have job after this job, so we should delay this job. That tactics should be controlled, and that's also another kind of risk. Means people thinking is changing. People's thinking in a negative way. I don't have job after that. I have seen such people in my life, high profile people. Oh, we have no job after this person, so we had to continue this job, we had to delay this job, or do something like that, which is self-destructive, you can say. It is self-destructive state, means you are destructing yourself by delaying something, or by even thinking to delay that. Means you are not a reliable partner, you are not a reliable employee, you can say. People cannot trust you. And we have come to, let me see, battery state. Now, another point is procurement. Procurement, deliveries of materials and equipment. Procurement is, of course, you have to procure everything. It's not material alone, equipment alone, many more items you have to procure. Expertise you have to procure, technology you have to procure, maybe some independent people you have to procure for purpose of helping you quality achievement. Procurement if neglected can jeopardize whole project. Procurement itself says cure, procure. You have some solution or treatment for issues which are involved, and for helping those issues, for you can say working on those issues for realization of work, procurement of whatever requirement is done, whatever requirement. Procurement, if neglected, if you ignore this, it can jeopardize whole project to an irrecoverable status. Irrecoverable status, which cannot be recovered. From impending constraints, it's been seen on many projects that it impacts a loss to project budget, or you can say derailment of cost due to non-availability of sustainable time schedule, as well as absence of competent staff. Procurement, if neglected, procurement, if neglected, can jeopardize whole project to an irrevocable status. Irrevocable, irrecoverable. Spelling is irrecoverable, which cannot be recovered. Irrevocable, irrecoverable status. Spelling is little different. This pronunciation is also affected. Some may speak this way, that way. You can speak slowly also. Irrecoverable, recoverable, irrecoverable status from impending constraints. It has been seen in many projects, that it impacts a loss to project budget cost due to non-availability of a sustainable time schedule, as well as absence of competent staff. Procurement of projects, designs, in design and build or EPC contracts constitutes a very significant part of deliverables, without which nothing would move on site or in project office either. Some designs are done by organizations, home office, while some are outsourced by organization. In both cases, design requires detailed engineering requirement. Design requires detailed engineering input, you can say. Design requires detailed engineering solutions and studies, further studies and applications of detailed engineering for deliverables. There are so many other points in procurement. I'll take care of that. Meanwhile, I'll jump on to something, you can say, what was that? Quality, building plans, project management. So let me go to building plans at the moment. We have said yesterday, we discussed something about this. We reached somewhere here, you can say, I think it was, what was that? I think it was, let me see, water test we were conducting, I think, yes. Water test we were conducting, that's very important item. Oh, I gone where? My mistake. I'm just ending for nothing, Some key input problem. No problem, let's correct it. Then 8. Let's see what is by the correct repairs. Everything, and they have to test water tightness. But there's big one size, let us say 100 meter longitudinally and 80 meters cross sectionally, transsectionally, because it trans twice then, and